Yes, we welcome back to another stream on the channel, and this is the Bright. Hey, chill in the back room here. Chill in the back room. This is the Brighton Spurs watch along, and I'm not by myself. I do have someone with me, and that is Ollie. How you doing, Ollie? How you feeling? I mean, as a neutral, how you feeling for this game?
Come on, Brighton. Come on. Trossard hat-trick today, 3-0. Got me on my fantasy team. I don't like Tottenham. They're just showing the teams now. Let's have a look at Tottenham's team. Who have they got? They've got Lloris in goal. Romero, Dyer and Davies, Welsh player.
So obviously the Brighton lineup is Sanchez, Veltman, Dunk, Webster, March, McAllister, Caicedo,
Doherty,
Estupinan, Gross,
Welbeck. Bashuma's playing. Bentner, Ryan Sessegnon.
Yes.
So no Perisic.
And then
no Perisic or Emerson Royal. And Bashuma starts. And then let's see who's ahead in front of them.
Yeah, wait, Ollie, wait. Hang on.
Kane and Son. Come on, Brighton. Yep, I agree. 3-0 Brighton, Tony O'Shea. How you doing? Added Time Podcast. What's your prediction? Forster, Skip, Sanchez, Richarlison, Gale, Perisic, Spencer, and Legend are all on the bench. So Spurs made a few. Let me just check the lineup. Arash, you're on mute.
I'm not.
Arash, there you go. You're not on mute anymore. You were on mute because I couldn't hear you.
Spurs lineup is Lloris, Doherty,
Yeah, I've read it.
Dyer, Davies, Sessegnon, Bentancur, Højbjerg, Basuma, Son, and Kane.
Alistair, March, Grove, Trossard, and Danny Welbeck. Who's Robert De Zerbi? Still Lamptey.
That's the manager, Brighton manager. That's the Brighton manager.
And then, yeah, Conte. On the bench for Tottenham, it's Perisic, Richarlison, Leglon, Foster. So they've got Jed Spencer, well, decent bench. Brighton have got a bad bench. Billy Gilmore.
Make sure you guys smash the likes, by the way.
Lamptey,
smash the likes.
But no, it's 0-0. The game's about to start. For me, I'm probably a bit behind. I think they're doing a minute's silence.
The At The Time podcast says Tottenham get battered everywhere they go.
Yeah, come on, Brighton.
Smash the like button. Big up yourself and Tony O'Shea. Big up. I haven't seen the comments. Big up. Brighton 3-0. We'll see.
Yeah, they're doing a clap. They're doing a clap. Oh yeah, my prediction is the same as in 3-0 Brighton. I'm going with a Trossard hat trick again. But they're just having a minute round of applause for Gian Pero Venti. Died at the age of 62, is it? They're all clapping.
Yeah, that's the fitness coach. Yeah, Spurs fitness coach. That night.
Yeah, so Brighton are home. They've got a Tottenham shirt with his name on it. Conte's crying as always. And Spurs' kit looks stupid. It looks like the New England kit, but worse. But they literally have a dick as their logo. They're all clapping. Billy Gilmore on the bench. Everyone stood up. I muted it, so I can't hear it. But no, what's your score prediction, OS?
I can't even get.
OS.
I'm going to say 2-0 Brighton.
Yeah, I actually in the group chat I said 2-1, but I've changed it to
2-0 Brighton.
3-0 now. Yeah, 2-0. Okay. It's just there's a bit of a delay because I asked you the question.
Hang on, let me look. Hang on.
They're taking the knee now. They haven't took the knee in a while. And Son's going to kick us off. All right, I'll commentate for a bit. Oresh has gone out. He's probably going to come back. But no, I'm probably a bit behind. No one's put it in the chat. And Son has kicked off. It is 0-0. Brighton, Tottenham at the Amex Stadium. Brighton. game as well. Arrest is back.
Am I back?
Yeah, what minute are you? I'm on 20 seconds. Are you even watching it?
I got flash score and you can watch it for me.
All right. Yeah, I'll watch it for you. So it's 30 seconds in. Spurs on the ball now. Son kicked. They took the knee, and then Son kicked us. So Brighton on the ball now. Not even a minute in, and it's still 0-0. Kane. Højbjerg on the ball
Hang on, I'm
now.
gonna get the game up,
Pass it
Ollie.
out
I'm
to
gonna go to my
Sisson.
TV.
Yeah, get the game. Yeah, I'll just commentate until you get the
Fine.
game on. But it's a minute in now, and it is a corner, or is that a goal kick or a corner? I believe it's a goal kick because the Brighton fans are celebrating. So I think it's a goal kick to Brighton. Bissouma joined for Tottenham for 35 million in Brighton in June, so this is his first appearance, I think. While the rest is good for the game, I'll just commentate a bit. So the camera's on Conte now. He doesn't look happy. Obviously losing 3-1 to Arsenal. 0-0 here. Potential another loss. They're unbeaten. And it is a goal kick here for the number 1, Robert Sanchez, for Brighton to take. He stutters there a bit. Still yet to take it. He takes it over the halfway line, and Brighton player heads it to Sessignon. Sessignon on the ball now. Passing from the back to Lloris. Lloris kicks it out. Here's Son on the ball now. Oh no, that's not Son. Here's Kane. Son. Good defending there from Brighton. 2 minutes in now. Arrest still looking for the game. Oh, pass to Sessignon here. Sessignon to Kane. Big chance here. Foul, and it's a free kick for Tottenham here. Big chance for the game. McAllister fouls Kane there, and he helps him up. But no, 0-0, 2 minutes in, and yeah, big chance for Tottenham here. Kane gets the ball, and McAllister, I mean, he pushes him a bit.
Right.
It's quite bad.
I got the game up. Yeah.
Oh, you're downstairs, you. He's downstairs, everyone.
No, not downstairs. I have no.
Bro, why do
phone,
you have
but-
two different locations? Why do you have one where there's like a bunk bed and you have one where it looks like your mum and dad's room? Is that the
Ollie,
same room, or is it?
I'm on 2
But no,
minutes and
big
45.
chance here. I'm on 2 minutes and 33, so about 5-second difference. But it's a free kick here for Tottenham's. Son's on the ball.
Oh, dangerous free kick, man. This is dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous free kick. This is the biggest chance of the game. I think Tottenham have been the better side so far. Brighton have been doing some good defending, but obviously McAllister just giving away a foul here. Son ready
what
to
a
take
save!
it.
What a save! What a save!
Oh, Arash has just spoiled it, but Son to take it. It's 3 minutes in now. Son puts his hand up. Son shoots. Oh, good save. Yeah, good save there from Robert Sanchez.
All right, no spoilers, guys, in the comments. I won't spoil anything, so yeah, no spoilers, guys.
And the Tottenham fans let us know because you're getting smoked by Brighton today. 3 minutes in, Session will take us a throw in to Davis.
Oh,
the
yeah, okay,
Welshman.
you don't have to commentate. You don't have to be like Marnie 2.0.
Bro, you're not commentating, so.
Actually, you might as well commentate for me, yeah.
Eric Dyer on the ball now. England international. Pass it to a Welsh international here. Ben Davis. One of my favourite Tottenham players, and that's saying something.
What?
Because I hate Connor, hates on. Hate Kane, hates on, but I
Oh,
like him
no.
because he's Welsh.
Oh no! Hang on. Just slow
Don't
down.
spoil it, Arrest. I'm 10 seconds behind you. Are you watching on Sky Sports?
No, Albanian channel.
No, you're not. You're not in Albania. You're not in Albania, though. How are you watching an Albanian channel in the UK?
There's streams, illegal streams.
Oh, a legal stream. Oh, I'm watching it legally on Sky Sports.
I mean, sorry, legal streams. Legal streams. I mean.
You watching on Sky Sports?
No, I'm not watching on Sky Sports.
Sky Sports is better. Whatever you're watching, it's probably illegal. Sessioning on the ball now.
I have Sky Sports here, but I don't know if
Dangerous.
that's more behind than what I'm watching right now. So yeah.
Oh, is that why I'm behind? Is that why Sky Sports is behind? Because your stream's ahead.
I don't know.
I'll just go on flash scores. Just
No, don't. Just watch the game. Watch the game. No, Ollie, no, that's ruining it. Because what I'm watching now is
I'll
like,
get off the score.
Ollie, you know that match I'm watching right now is 20 seconds behind the actual match, so it's not even on time.
Wait, are you in 5 minutes? I've just hit 5 minutes.
I'm on 5:18 now.
I'm on 5-6 just now, but
That's fine.
yeah,
It's 10
on
seconds.
flash scores it says 6 minutes.
Okay, turn it off, man.
I turned the
Guys,
notifications
smash the
off.
likes, people. Let me check how many likes.
How many viewers have we got?
Got 3 people.
2 viewers, 5 likes. Get the likes up, people, and share this to your friends. Get more views and likes, and subscribe if you're new as well. On the road to 1K. Is it? You're probably more on the road to 400 now, aren't you? How many
Road
away
to
from
400. Yeah,
400?
road to 400. Tomorrow, guys, Liverpool vs Arsenal watch along. I'll be doing that tomorrow. So yeah,
There'll be more people for that, surely. More people for that. How many people will be joining that?
Yeah, hopefully
Can't just
Elliot
be me
joins
and
for
you again. Surely be some Arsenal fans.
that. Oh, I think Elliot might join for that one as well.
Yeah, Elliot will be back. I actually FaceTime Elliot earlier on. He's doing well. He's going to a gig in Birmingham today. So.
She, Oli, she. He said she.
Oh, sorry, he. Yeah, sorry.
Well, we'll call Elliot a girl now. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll call it a go. But no, everyone's just a pussy. They don't want to join the stream today because they don't want to show their face and they don't want to watch the Spurs game.
Okay,
But it says from you on here, 6 minutes gone.
You know the stream was unplanned anyways because of.
Yeah, the stream was unplanned. Well, it's similar to, the one where we did after the Arsenal game. Literally, it was just me, MKU, and Joel.
Yeah.
And you literally did it like 10 minutes after the game.
Oh, no. Oh.
What?
Defending.
All right. Before you almost said a goal.
Money available. I want to send you the link.
Oh, wait, money's available. Come on, money.
Yeah, let me send you the link.
I'm on 7:15. Oh, I'm on 7 just now, but Manny, he's about a minute ahead of me. Manny, okay, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it, Manny. Don't be commentating all over. But no, 0-0, 8 minutes on flash score, 7 minutes for me. Yeah, don't post the link to the comments because random people will join. So I do that, but random people. Oh, Doherty there. And no, good defending. I think he's gone out for a corner or goal kick. I'm not sure. No, it's a goal kick because it would have been a corner. But it says Macedon's here, scored and assisted in every 456 minutes in this season. I think Doherty's a good signing, to be honest, from Wolves. Good right back. He's starting for them. He's an Irish international. But no, the camera's on him for a while now. Coming up to 8 minutes for me. It's probably about 9 minutes now. And Robert Sanchez takes the goal kick to a Tottenham player. Tottenham playing from the back here. Brighton get the ball back. Trossard on the ball here. Good chance for Brighton. Brighton still on the ball. To Trossard. Come on, Trossard. Get a goal today. Oh, no, that's March. March on the ball now, doing well. March still on the ball. Brighton attack here. Biggest chance of the game for Brighton here. And it's cleared away by Doherty. But they're back on the ball here. Come on, Brighton. Come on, Brighton. All the Arsenal fans want Brighton to win. All the neutrals. I'm sure the only people who want Spurs to win are Spurs fans or Arsenal fans who don't give a shit about Tottenham. But Kane, they're good defending. I think Brighton, you can't write them off. They're at home. A lot of people want them to win because of Spurs. Hopefully, Kane doesn't do well. He's in my dad's fantasy team. Hopefully, he transfers him out next week. But we'll wait and see. But let's have a look at how my fantasy team's doing.
Yeah, hang on, let me just send the link to Money. Hang on. You got 5 people watching. Make sure you guys smash the likes.
Pope 2, Cancelo 15, Trippier 5, Madison 1, Trossard 1, and Callan 12. And I've still got Salah, Jesus, Diaz, Zinchenko, and a lot to play. And Greenwood and Nico.
Money, I've just sent you the link, mate. Check the DM.
Well, the person with the most.
Hang on. Oh, let me go through the comments, mate. Good to see Doherty getting a start. Had to happen. Oh, did I just lose Ollie there?
No, it's my internet. I think it's either I'm what. Yeah, I'm back. Hello. Yeah. Basically, the thing with Hano's stream is because it was on Google, and I'm on my phone. I'm watching it, and then obviously downstairs, my mum watching the telly, and they're on their phone. So the internet's crap up here. So that's why I keep going. Brighton here on the attack.
The link. I'm just gonna go through the comments. Ollie, wait. I'm just gonna go through the comments. Good to see Doherty getting a start. Had to happen. And Marnie says,
"Yeah, you've read that."
Aren't you cheering for Ghana, Danny Welbeck, Ollie, and Orest?
Oh yeah, they played for United.
He played for Man United too.
Ooh, Brighton are doing well here, and Luis saves it. You've got 12 points. Oh my god. You still got all your players left to play though. Fabinho, Saka, Jesus, Eze, Rice, Cash, Anderson, Henderson, and Mitchell. Thiago Silva 0 points. Why did he get 0 points? Did he not play?
12 points.
Right.
Yes, Manny, how you doing?
Yeah,
Can't
good,
see
good,
money.
good. Listen, I'm really sorry, but
You're quite
because of
quiet, by the way.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh, there we go. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
So,
go.
like I said, I'm really sorry, but the bad weather over here, sometimes what happens is that when it rains rather heavily, as it does where
Power
I
trip.
am, with the monsoon and everything,
Ooh.
it's not even a question of the power trip. It affects the quality of the signal. It
All
interferes
right.
with the TV signal, so it doesn't come through. So, for the most part, I couldn't join in the Chelsea watch along, couldn't remain a part of it because, I
Yeah,
didn't
same.
want to be in a. I simply didn't want to, just be a part of the watch along if I couldn't really see anything. And I mean, now I'm watching the telly right now, and
Yeah, same.
Ollie,
Yeah.
I am on 12:09.
I'm on
10,
11,
11.
27, 8. So I'm about a minute behind you.
Yeah, about 50 seconds.
Offside
or so.
there from Brighton. Oh, Manny,
So,
by the way,
Oris-
don't spoil anything, Manny. I know
Yeah.
you're.
I heard you the first time. And I'm still sticking to my word. No spoilers. I promise you that. Besides, I mean, it's not Tottenham. I mean, it's Tottenham who are playing. It's not Arsenal who are playing. So why would I
No,
want to
exactly.
spoil it for you?
No, yeah, you
Um,
can spoil it if you want, but if Brighton
No.
scored, if
No.
Brighton,
You've asked me.
yeah,
I'm sticking to it.
Only spoil it if Brighton. Only spoil it if Brighton score, though. If Brighton score, but if not, then just keep it quiet.
Okay, so we come to a consensus. Oris, how are you, son? I'm sure that Hanno enjoyed the Chelsea game eventually, and at least the 3-0 scoreline would have flattered him. So my prediction was wrong. No goal for Diego Costa, no
Yeah.
goal for Wolves. But Chelsea again 3-0.
I said
and
2-1.
So the decision to rest Aubameyang was justified. He
Oh,
didn't need to
Arrest
play
is
Aubameyang.
frozen.
Yeah.
Arrest,
So the
is your
decision-
internet all right?
Yeah, listen, his gets frozen and he comes back. So the decision
Manny, your
to...
internet's worse than his, though. You keep leaving.
No, my internet's
Oh,
not
he's back.
bad. I mean, look, I'm still here.
Oh,
It's
is it
my
the What? No, when you have a power trip, what do you mean by a power trip?
No, what happens is that sometimes, we have what we otherwise know as an inverter over here. Sometimes that inverter performs the role of a sort of a UPS sort of thing, in that whenever there is a sudden loss of power, that thing starts to work. The only problem is that because there's no stabilizer for my PC, it gets switched off immediately. And I
Oh,
have
right.
to restart it. It automatically restarts, and it takes me about 5 minutes to come back on a stream. So my internet is actually of really good quality. It's just that
Okay.
sometimes the electricity, the way it runs over here, is not the best. You know what I mean?
What's your internet called in India, by the way?
I don't.
No, we have
there's no
Sky,
re-
BT, whatever. Do you have
Oh,
that?
I'm using Tata Sky.
Tata Sky.
So
Okay.
it's sort of affiliated with Sky, if you will. You have Sky Plus. With the Sky Plus service, you can actually pause,
Oh, right.
the transmit. You can pause the coverage and then play it again. You can do some recording of programs you enjoy, and that's the way it is. But what I have is the normal one, the cheaper one, so I didn't really need to have the thing. But at least if I had the Plus service right now, I would pause it so that we would all be in sync. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No, that's what happened when I went on a Graham stream. We did a watch along for the Chelsea Arsenal game, 4-2 Arsenal, and he was like a minute ahead of me, and I reacted to the goals like later than him. So I don't obviously, yeah, as you said, because it's not Arsenal, I'm not going to get hyped over the goal only if Brighton score. But you can spoil it if you want. It's just I've warned you not to spoil a Spurs goal.
You warned me, did you? You might want to watch your
No, well,
language
before you joined, I said don't spoil the game, and then obviously I told you now. So
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, just remember.
Manny, do you never turn your camera off? Do you just keep your camera on?
I'll keep it on. What's the issue with that?
No, I'm just saying. Many people just turn their camera off for some reason.
Yeah, many people do turn their camera off, and I could if I wanted to. I think what I'll do is instead
Where's
of
your face?
yeah. So listen, I think what I'll do is if and when I feel it's time to eat, I will probably turn my camera off and continue eating so that you won't have to see me, chewing food on the stream and wait for
That
me
is
to
true.
think.
Yeah.
But having said that, of course, if you see me chewing, it means that I can't speak and I have to time when I eat. It's not really a good sight for people to see me
No, no.
eating. I don't know. I mean, I know of people who like to smoke, so they cover their cameras, obviously.
Well, I've seen
I mean,
people vaping before on stream as well. So
yeah, so eating's not too bad. I mean,
no,
look, we have
eating
to
isn't
eat.
bad as
Like
vaping.
who, Ollie?
Eating is-
Ollie, like who? Who have you seen people vaping?
Ooh,
Bro, I've seen MK vaping.
ooh, it would have been beautiful. But like I said, watch it
Manny,
now
are
and
you
see what your
16 minutes in now? Are you 16 minutes in?
16, 48, 49, 50.
I'm 16, 7, 8, 9.
Oh,
Okay, so
What? Man City are now top of the league now. We need to beat Liverpool to go top. Tottenham third, Brighton fifth, Chelsea fourth, Man United seventh.
oh, Welbeck almost scored. Oh.
Oof. Is Welbeck playing well, Manny?
yeah, he's
Oh yeah,
looking all
Welbeck
right.
chance here. Welbeck. Ooh, wide. Yeah.
Oh,
Unlucky.
so yeah. So as you see, RS very nearly beat you to the punch there, but because I was so far ahead, I didn't want to do that.
Manny, do
That's
you
how
know
good
why
a
they're
person
wearing
I
the
am.
black things around their sleeve? The black things.
Yeah, no room
Is
for
it?
Oh yeah,
Is it because of
yeah,
it?
yeah.
That's why.
It's in tribute
No
to
room for
their
both.
Oh
their
yeah, the guy who
fitness coach
died.
who passed
But
away.
but all the teams have been wearing the black thing recently, though.
No, that's for the Indonesian riot victims. And obviously,
Oh,
what Tottenham have done is when they went out for training today, they were actually wearing shirts which were in tribute to their departed fitness coach. So let me take a look and see.
will Arsenal players be wearing it tomorrow, Manny? The black thing.
I'm pretty certain they will because I'm pretty
Come on,
certain they will.
Trossard. Come on, Trossard. Score a goal. Oh, ref,
I'm pre-
that's a foul. How are you not giving that a free kick?
yeah.
Oh, and
So
it has been a
so what
yellow
they were
card
doing.
for Kane. Yellow card for
Yes.
Kane.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what they were
Kane.
doing. What they were doing was they were when they were training on the
Ooh.
pitch, they were wearing shirts which said "Sempre nei nostri cuori, Gian Piero." It
Wait,
means
where was he
always in our
from?
hearts.
Was he from Italy?
Italy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
sempre nei
yellow card here
nostri.
for Kane. I don't know why there's a yellow card for Kane. Do you know why there's a
Maybe
yellow
it was
card
a
for
foul. I don't know. But listen,
what happened?
Ollie, let me say what I say. It
Oh, I
said
think it was a
sempre.
handball. Handball from Kane there. Yeah, yellow card, 18
Maybe
minutes
yeah.
in.
Let
Yeah.
Marnie
So
what he was
the
going to say, man.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. On the back of those shirts, it was written "Sempre nei nostri cuori, Gian Piero." It means on the front, always in our hearts, Gian Piero.
Speak Italian, Manny.
I know a few phrases. I mean, I know some phrases in French and Italian, obviously.
Arrivederci is goodbye, isn't it? Ciao is
Yes, of
hello.
course. Grazie mille, arrivederci, che
Yeah.
Dio vi benedica means God
Grazie
bless
mia
you.
means thank you.
And
I know
when someone says,
French. Do you bonjour Manny, ça va?
"Ah oui, bien sûr, un petit peu, ça va bien, merci." Et toi?
Ça vient merci Manny. J'habite Angleterre. Et toi?
J'habite
Pogba,
Dinde.
Pogba,
J'habite what?
Pogba.
Delinde.
Delinde. Delinde.
Yeah. So you have the
D'accord.
le apostrophe and then inde.
Ah, right. Is that how you say India in French then? Because
Yes, yes.
England's Angleterre, obviously.
Of course, I know.
Oh,
Angleterre,
RS.
London is Londres. So it's very difficult.
Can you speak
I mean,
Spanish?
not very much. I
I know
lived in
hola.
Florida. I lived in Florida for 6 years. Again, I know a few phrases,
I've been to
but
Florida,
somehow,
yeah.
but when it comes to Spanish, I have to make sure that I really know what the phrases mean. I mean, it's not really a tongue in which I feel comfortable speaking, but I do like French. I do like Italian.
Yep.
I don't care
like
what
French.
John Cleese.
I like Welsh
Yeah.
as well. Do you know any Welsh?
No, I couldn't
No.
speak Welsh to
Croeso
save my
means
life.
welcome. Borada is good morning. Prananda is good afternoon. Nostar is good night. Shemai is hello.
One more thing. There's another word which is spelled HYWL. How do you pronounce that?
Oh, what a save!
Io. Basically, in Welsh, the
Ollie,
Y
watch it.
is
Ollie,
an
watch it. Quick, watch it, Ollie.
Wait. What a save Sanchez doing. Yeah, what I was saying, basically, I go to this university in Cardiff where they do gigs, and it's called Plas. But in Welsh, Y is spelled ER, so So if you ever go to Wales or anywhere, Y is an It's not Y, it's Plas is the place. That's why it's called Plas in Cardiff. When you see Croeso Cymru, that means welcome
welcome
to
to Wales. Yes,
welcome to Wales. Yeah.
And,
I think Longlair. Oh, 1-0 Tottenham. 1-0 Tottenham. Fuck. Oh no. Oh, it's freaking Kane!
Ollie, you're doing your best Troops impersonation there, mate.
Kane scored! Oh. Kane scored,
I despise Troops with such a
Flip's
passion.
sake.
But wait, they're reviewing it. Possible offside?
Oh, flip's sake. Oh, yeah, the VAR. Oh, my God. Kane.
Is offside money?
Past Sanchez before he could even blink. Yeah. So,
my dad has him in his fantasy team. More points for him. Flip's sake.
oh, man.
How many points does he have? 52 freaking points.
Oh, and I know that thank you is spelled Diolcha.
Yeah,
How do you pronounce that?
Diolch. And
Diolch.
do you know Swansea? Swansea in Welsh is Abertawe. Say Abertawe.
Oh.
Abertawe, yeah.
Abu
Cardiff. I don't know if Cardiff has a Welsh meaning. I know when I go to Pembrokeshire, the most Welsh name is Kilgetty. Say Kilgetty. I have quite a good Welsh accent. I'm Oliver from Wales, you know, I'm from Wales. My gran's from Wales. My gran's from Swansea. My mum was born in Carmarthen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to impersonate this, Manny, but I can do a very good in the accent.
Let me just.
Wait, let me do it. How are you doing, Indian? Would you like to order an Indian food?
No, stop. No,
Yeah, a word
no,
of advice
stop,
to you.
stop.
A word of advice to you. You better not be watching reruns of Goodness Gracious Me or The Cars at number 42. Yeah, because look, there's so much more to.
Kane again. Good defending. Yeah, go on, Manny.
All I can say is that Kane has proved that he's able. Get it? Kane, able?
If he scores again, I'm leaving.
No,
Well
Kane, able. It's a biblical reference.
Yeah,
I believe they were.
I'm
Adam's
actually.
sons.
By the way, no dissing God. I'm a Christian, so please do not diss God in this.
No,
this
there's
stream.
no dissing. There's no dissing over here. I mean,
Do you know what
you know,
Allah Akbar means?
it means God is great in
Yes.
Arabic.
Yeah, but people say that before they bomb, so it's very offensive if they say that.
Oh, they just chill.
Yeah.
But Manny, how come you don't have an Indian accent?
I told you it's because I was born in the UK. I spent my
Yeah, but
childhood there.
you
That was
live
where
in
my
India.
formative. Just because I live in India, does that mean I have to speak like everyone here? Mate, listen,
But
it doesn't work that way.
You speak Hindi,
You know-
though, don't you? You speak Hindi.
Yeah, I speak Hindi and 2 other regional languages, but I mean, I learned how to speak them. But when it
Do you
comes to
speak
speaking
English with your family, though, or Hindi?
not Hindi. We speak a language called Tamil, which is unique to the southeastern region of India where I live and where my
Right.
dad's from. I mostly speak to him in English, but I do interject a little bit of Tamil. And obviously, with my relatives, many of whom can't speak a word of English to save their lives, I have to switch to that language. It's my it's not the language I grew up speaking. My native language is English. I grew up in an English-speaking country, but that's what is otherwise known as a mother tongue, if you will.
Yeah,
So
I've spoken English, but I can speak French. I can speak Welsh. I can speak a bit of Italian.
yeah, but
bit
I
of
don't know if
Spanish.
I don't know if you grew up speaking Welsh in your household.
No, my mum's mum can speak a bit of Welsh. So I learned from her basically, but I know a bit of self-taught Welsh. I know Croeso as well. I know a bit of Welsh because I've been there plenty of times. I've been to Wales probably about 1 million times, to be honest. And I'm actually going to be going there soon in the October holidays. I'm going to stay a weekend with my gran, and I'm going to go to
Big up
Pembrokeshire
on
as
this
well.
full
So.
time fan TV, by the way.
Yeah.
Big up,
So,
Ryan. How you doing, Ryan? What's your prediction? I'm going 3-1 Brighton now. Come on, trust
Oh,
us.
so you were going for a 3-0 win, were you?
Yeah, 3-1 now. I've changed my mind.
Mate, listen, I know Tottenham underperformed against us, but they're not as
Where are
bad a
they in
team
the
as
league
people
now?
think they are. Let me take a look at the table, yeah?
But James
Um,
says 3-1 hat-trick Kane. You're the same person who predicted 3-2 Bournemouth, so I'd hold
yeah,
that, mate.
so they are still third in the table, and they've now played. This is their ninth
They're
game, and
third.
as things stand, they're on 18 points, so they've leapfrogged Chelsea. But
Guys, what's your prediction for Arsenal Liverpool in the chat? Are Arsenal going to go back of the league, top of the league?
and Ryan's come in, big up, mate. And
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
Ryan,
Does
if
Ryan
you're in
not
the
ever join the streams? Because I invited him on my stream and he didn't join.
No, Ryan is normally the type of person who seems to be content to sort of stay in the background, but he has joined a few
A
streams.
bit like
And
Road to
listen, Ryan,
Red
I'm looking forward to Huddersfield playing Hull. I wish you good luck with that. If there were a way I would be watching that match tomorrow, I'd be happy to
I
join
hope
you on
you're
a watch
okay with
along. But
Spurs taking the lead. Yeah, I'm not okay with Spurs taking the lead. Thank you, Brian, but
yeah,
whatever.
but like I said,
Oh,
Ryan, I hope that you
no way
boys will be
2-1 to Tottenham.
confident.
I would literally kill myself if it's 2-1 Tottenham.
Okay, Ollie, just
All right.
Yeah, you need to chill. I mean, seriously. I mean, I know you're passionate about Arsenal, but
Danny
with
Welbeck and
true.
Trossard goal, 2-1. All right, Kane on the ball here, idiot. I hate. Did you know Kane's an Arsenal fan and he keeps lying about it? He keeps saying he's a Tottenham fan. He wore an Arsenal top as a kid and he keeps saying that he's a Tottenham fan. Harry Kane, you're an Arsenal fan. So shut up. But no, I hate Kane. I only like him for England. That's the only time I like him. But whatever.
you're
I'm
like
sure you
Lee
remember that
Judges from
song.
ASB.
You remember that
You're like
song,
Lee
right?
Judges. Yeah.
Rasputin got a goal machine, and of course, there's the interesting subplot about Yves Bissouma coming back to the
Yeah, I
AFX
don't know
against
why
his
he's
former club.
playing. He's playing against his former club. It's a bit stupid. That's like playing Aubameyang against Arsenal.
Oh,
Ollie,
so
what
close.
is wrong with you? Look, players have a right to go to clubs where they want to go, and teams obviously want to buy players they think
I
they
think
can
Arsenal
improve the
win
team.
2-0. I'm tempted to get Jesus hat trick, so maybe yeah. Come on,
What?
Brighton.
What a save!
Wait, is it a save from Lloris?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm right. I'm on the attack here now. Shoots! Oh my god!
Big up Hanif.
Oh yeah, Hanif. Is that the guy from Munsey Talks?
No, he's from a different channel.
Okay, yeah, I would have got really mad if that was a guy from Munsey Talks because I've got beef
Yeah,
with Munsey
looking
Talks.
forward to the game tomorrow. The preview show is uploading right now. I will catch that at halftime, Ryan. Certainly looks to be.
Rest. When should my next stream be? Should I do a review of the game week 10 on Monday?
Hang on. Well, I want to send you something on the.
I'm just waiting for the thumbnail. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Monday. If you didn't.
Oh
Monday,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I
It
need
is
to
handy
watch
from
that
Monday
stream
Talks,
back,
yeah.
but I need to watch that stream.
Looking forward to.
I'm joking.
Looking forward to our game tomorrow. My preview show is uploaded right now on Marnie. So it's Huddersfield
Yeah.
time.
Big up, Ryan. I need to watch your videos, mate, but I'm subscribed.
Yeah.
But I'll calm down a
and,
bit unless Brighton score. I'll go mental. But if Tottenham score again, it'll be a different story.
Yeah, look. If Tottenham score, promise me that you won't go completely crazy. Yeah, because last thing I want is to see fifths being bumped, tables being broken, or what have you. Just calm down. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good for your blood pressure. It's not worth it. Yeah.
Manny, can you tell us how do you do 200 press ups a day? That's impressive. I can't even do one.
The secret to that, Ollie, is to make sure that you find the form and position which works well for you. So my form when it comes to doing press ups has evolved over the years. And mind you, Ollie, don't be ashamed. When I was much, much younger, I hated exercise with a passion, and I would never be the type of person who could do even one to save my life. So, yeah, it evolved over the years.
Do you go to the gym, Manny? Do you go to the gym?
I'm tongue tied. obviously now the situation with me is that I don't want to go to a gym unless I'm confident of my immunity. And now, having gotten the booster injection, I could go. But then
I go
gym
to the gym now.
memberships, yeah, but gym memberships are not very
Yeah, they're very
uh,
expensive.
yeah. I mean, if you are,
Oh,
if
yellow
you
card
become a
here.
member of, even if you're a member of the local YMCA, wherever you may be, you still have to slip a few pounds through the door to sort of confirm your membership. But it's worth it if there's some good
No,
equipment.
I go to Anytime Fitness. Do you know Anytime Fitness?
I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
I follow a lot of fitness
Assume they
influencers
got
on
yellow cards.
Instagram. One of the people I follow, and one person
Bro,
who
he's
has
got
in
a phone
fact,
going off.
and one person who's interacted with me is a guy named Nick Naidu, who used to work at Barry's as a
Oh,
trainer
yeah.
along with his wife Izzy.
I
Now
had a
he and
personal
his
trainer.
wife and his mates run something called Grindhouse, which is a sort of half online but also half in-house fitness school where instruction is provided on cardio, weight training, and a lot of basic exercises. You can follow him. I'll send you the link to his Instagram.
Yeah,
You can
send me a
follow
link.
him. He's also an Arsenal fan, so you will
Is
get
he?
along with him
What's
like
his
house
name?
on fire. Nick Naidu. That's NIKNAIDOO.
Where's he from?
He's also born and brought up in the UK, but I think he has family roots. His ethnicity is Indian, but I think his roots are from probably maybe somewhere in Africa. I'm not too sure because
Do you
the
play
Naidu.
golf, Manny?
No, I've never tried it.
Oh,
I've
I
always
play
wanted to
golf.
try.
Though. Yeah, me and my dad play golf.
Yeah, I've always wanted to try it, but no.
Yeah.
So I think his family roots.
Brighton! Oh.
You all right,
So-
boys? How we doing? How we doing?
Yeah, good. How are you, son?
Yeah, not bad, money. Ollie, I heard you had beef. What's your beef, boy?
My beef is with Munzi. He's an idiot.
Why?
Because he blocked me on Instagram and he was calling me gay in the group chat, so he's a bit of an idiot.
What?
Are you sure?
Yeah. Munzi Talks said that in the group chat and he got removed for it.
Yeah, good. I'm glad he got removed. There should be no homophobic slurs or anything.
Which group is this?
Arrest made a new group chat and he said that, and then I told him to remove him and then basically that he blocked me for no reason on Instagram, which was a bit annoying. And then after that, I've had beef with him in the comments. He keeps saying, "Oh no, not Ollie, no, not Ollie," and I literally just get really angry with him. He's very annoying. So I'm not doing his streams. I blocked him on Instagram, and I hate him commenting on arrest. So if you're here, Munzi, I don't like you, and never talk to me again.
Mason Mount, you played well today. Thank you, Mason. Thank you. Big 3 points today, Mason. Thank you, Mason.
Who do you support again, Hanif? Chelsea.
Yeah, look, Mason Mount's in top left-hand corner. Can you see?
Do you know who Hano is? Coach's Corner.
Yeah, I know who.
Yeah.
I've met Hannah before.
Where are you
Yeah.
from, Hanif? You from UK?
I'm from a little town called Huddersfield.
Oh, the same as
Ooh,
Ryan.
nice.
The same as Ryan. He supports Huddersfield. Oh, is it a penalty or a corner? No, a corner.
Ollie, you know one thing, right? I think you're hilarious. You know that. You know when you just like interrupt people, I think that's the funniest thing in the world.
He always interrupts money, man.
Yeah, there are some people. I know that you might find it funny, but others don't, especially when they're in the middle of a sentence and want to get
Bro,
something
I
out.
only find
You've
it
gotta be
funny because
courteous, yeah.
this is the only reason I interrupt people. When people talk, I think of things and I say it out loud. That's why I interrupt people. So say you're saying
Yeah,
that
but
Liverpool
Ollie,
are going to win. I
have to
interject
control
because
that.
Arsenal are going to win.
You have to control that, Ollie. You have to wait until someone finishes their point.
I
But
can't
no, Ollie.
control that Munzi's an idiot though, so that's what I can't control.
Yeah. By the way, let me say I do.
You
like
need
the
to
name
sort
of your...
Munzi out, Hanif. You need to sort him out. Man.
Honest, Ollie, I'll be honest with you. It's been a while since I've been on his channel, so
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen you as well. I can't remember the last time I saw you.
like I think I've been on Oris's channel more this season than I've been on Munzi's channel.
You've been on here. I haven't seen you on here. I've been here for ages.
I've been here 3 times.
Right, 3 times. You haven't been on my channel, I don't think.
Ollie, I've not had the honor and the privilege like Manny and Oris.
Bro, DM me. I'll let you know my next stream.
Yeah, I'm not as important as Manny and Orista.
Who's the Brighton captain? Is
appreciate
that
that.
Dunk? Corner for Brighton here. Don't spoil it.
Manny, are you still in India?
Come on, Trafford.
Yep, still here for now, and hoping to possibly move back as soon as possible. Looking for
Yeah,
some
come back to
opportunities.
UK.
If I could, I
What's the
would love
COVID
to.
situation there?
Yeah, here's the thing. You might not too recently. I mean, maybe about a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, I think. Actually, it might have been a week ago. Uh, yeah, about a week ago, exactly a week ago. I had my COVID booster injection, and the situation now is that I think some people are still getting sick, but the problem
Mm.
is it seems to become sort of endemic in a way, and that a large number of people have made it clear that they're not going to be told to wear masks and make sure that they get the injections they need because they're worried about possible side effects, especially if you get to a certain age and you have these pre-existing conditions or predispositions to heart attacks or what have you, it might be considered a risk. That's one of the reasons why my dad hasn't taken any injection, much less a booster one. But me, I had COVID quite some time ago. I think it was in 2020. I was in the hospital for a week, and I told myself once I get better, I'm getting these injections, and I'm glad I did. I have decent immunity, but I'm not taking anything for granted. I
I
still
haven't had
double
COVID
mask.
yet.
Yeah, I still double mask everywhere I go, except maybe for very small
Wait,
distances
you
where
still
one
wear
mask will
masks?
suffice. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because you never know um, where or how you'll be going. You never know with whom you'll come into
Yeah,
contact,
very true.
and especially if there are some people who are suffering from some ailments which may be threatening to their immune systems, then there is no way in hell that I would ever want to compromise their immunity in any way. So that's the thing with me, and yeah, so I'm doing what I can. And another reason why I'm taking these injections is because I want to travel again. Because a lot of these countries, as you will know, as you boys will know, have made it crystal clear that if you don't get the jab, you won't
Well,
be welcome
I've got
to
all the
fly.
jabs as well. Like, have you had the the booster jab and the two other jabs?
Yes, the two
Yeah,
preliminary ones and the
yeah, yeah,
booster
yeah.
jab. So
Well, I had
yes,
my first when I was 16, then I had 17, and then when I'm 18, I had the booster one. I actually recently had a blood test as well.
so see,
Have you had the Arsenal job as well?
Yeah, yeah, mate.
The one that
what's the
Liverpool's gonna
Arsenal
give you on
jab?
the back. The one that Liverpool's gonna give you on the backside tomorrow.
2-0 Arsenal.
Oh, so now we have a little trash talk, eh? Pretty good. By the way,
Well,
Hanif, I like the name of your channel, Radio Sangam. I detect some
I'm gonna
strong Indian roots there.
I'm gonna call out Hanno in this stream. You know, he keeps saying come on to the other team. Well, he said come on Spurs and we beat them 3-1. He's saying come on Liverpool. Hanno 2-1 Arsenal. Shut up.
You know what the funny thing is when Oli gets serious, it's so funny.
I know, Hanif. I was just telling him that he reminds me a bit of Troops, that fella from AFTV.
No, nothing like Troops, mate. I don't swear like Troops. He's an idiot.
Yeah,
I
I
think you
agree.
should. I think you should try it. Oli, go on. Say
I've been
fam.
called Ty from AFTV a lot, and I don't know why. Especially you, Resh. Post! Oh, Resh, you always call me Ty from AFTV. Who's Ty?
I'll let Marnie answer that.
Marnie, what are you
Ty is
drinking?
another-
What are you drinking?
It's another sort of
Do you have like a
type-
bottle of those? I always see you drinking them.
Yeah, like you get these bottles, rather they're just
What
it's just
flavor
some
is
sort-
it?
It's a berry flavored drink. It's a
Oh.
sort of an energy
Yeah,
drink in a way. Which
I'm
is
going to be
supposed
having
help
a
you.
strawberry and lime cider tonight, Manny.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think we discussed this. I think you told me that you enjoy
Sorry, I
every
didn't.
now
I
and
didn't.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember a lot of this stuff. So yeah, so
Alright.
Ty is another one. Ty is another one of the AFTV group who also is passionately.
He's
very
nothing
passionate
like
in
me
his
though. I don't
support
know
of
why
Arsenal.
people call me Ty.
He
from
also
AFTV.
is very quick to make excuses, and I think he came to fame in the 2020 season when I believe we were actually playing Brighton at the Amex, and Leno suffered that injury, and Neil Maupay was apparently responsible for that. So, of course, the sight of Leno
Like the
pointing his finger
Nigerian guy.
angrily at Maupay, that sort of there was a meme out of that, and then of course we had the whole Gendouzi situation, and Ty went on an AFTV channel and said, "Neil Maupay, you're a cheat and a disgrace, and I hope Brighton get relegated." And boy,
Oh yeah. That's where I meant famous.
the
What made
the
famous? Yeah.
pushback from that was epic.
Oh, that was so
So-
funny.
Yeah, so you've seen that. I don't watch AFTV
Well,
very much
Mupe's gone
anymore.
to Brighton now. Everything the
Everton.
FTV said is stupid.
Everton, Ollie Everton.
Yeah, Everton. Sorry, yeah, Everton.
Yeah.
I did say
So,
Everton. I said Mupe went to Everton.
No,
No,
we heard you say Brighton.
we heard you say Brighton.
No, sorry, I meant from Brighton to.
Ollie, listen. Honestly, now listen to me very carefully. Orist, follow this guy with the camera. I'm telling you, this guy is comedy gold. He's funny as hell. Honestly, just for a day and then video editing, I make a movie, I put it on YouTube.
You do realize, Hanif, that there is this clips account
Yeah,
that
there's a
Oris
clips account.
maintains,
Yeah.
so he
Which
doesn't need
I'm
to use a
basically
camera.
in 50% of the clips, so you can find me on
No,
there.
no, money. I want to
Yes.
see a day in the life of Ollie.
Mate, you don't want to see a day in the life of Ollie. You don't want to see that, mate. You don't want to see that.
I want to see it. Imagine, yeah, he goes to work or uni or whatever, and he comes across United fans and Liverpool fans.
No. Listen. I mean, knowing him as well as I do, based on my interactions with him, he may be passionate in his support of Arsenal, but he's not a pot stirrer, and I don't think he will just simply get into fights with people
No,
for
no,
no
no,
reason.
money.
I mean,
It's just the way his delivery. It's his delivery on things. It's absolutely hilarious. You can't
I
help but
get
laugh
that.
at him.
I get that. I get that. I mean, that's maybe a part of his appeal,
I have
but
to go in a bit of
you
rest,
know,
by the way.
but here's the thing. I mean, there is like you can be someone in front
Why,
of
what's the
the
reason?
camera and someone completely different,
Don't worry.
completely away from it.
No,
So-
I'll DM you about it. Don't worry.
I think
So it's
Arsenal
like-
Football Club should give him a season ticket. No,
give me
not
a
a season
season
ticket. A box. A box.
Give
He
me a
deserves
gold
his own
ticket.
box.
Give me a gold ticket.
He
Unlimited
wants
games.
he deserves a box.
I've been to a box. When I went to the Europa League game, I got like VIP treatment.
See that? This is what I mean. Honest, look, we've not been invited for any VIP
Ollie, man,
treatment.
what's
This
the
guy.
invite, Ollie? Ollie, what's the invite, man?
I wonder if you had prawn sandwiches that day.
No, I don't. I like prawn cocktail crisp, but I don't like prawn.
You're missing out, mate. I know that
What
some
a
people have an
guy.
allergy to seafood, and obviously, when it comes to seafood myself, I can't stand crab.
The only seafood I
Bashing
like
that
is
thing to-
salmon.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
No. Ollie, man. Listen, I came on a stream. I think it was on Monday or maybe later this week. And Deji was on. Will you guys
Oh
give
my
me
God, Deji is
listen?
hilarious.
Listen, look, be nice to Deji. Yeah, you know he's allowed to dream. Let him dream a little bit. Let him enjoy. You know, because after this season, I don't know if they'll be able to enjoy themselves. Be nice to him,
Did you hear his
man. Be
prediction,
nice
by
to
the way?
him.
Did you hear his prediction for Spurs?
Huh?
He said the Spurs are going to win the Champions League and the Premier League.
Yeah, no, he's been honest, he's been consistent with that, you know. I'll give him that. He's been on when I was on there's a couple of lads that have a channel and they're from Africa and I'm on that channel with them.
Oh, I think I've seen that. That's the United family, isn't it?
No. It's an Arsenal one and sometimes they invite me and Deji's pretty. You know what it is with Deji, right? Because he says what he wants to say. Everyone picks on him because obviously Spurs have not won anything for a long time. And you know what Deji's like? He's like, listen, we're going to win it all.
I know. Why does he think they'll win the Champions League when you lost 2-0 to Sporting?
But Ollie, obviously, I think you have to.
Yeah. I'll DM you why I have to leave. But no, thanks for having me on. I've joined 2 streams there. I just joined Hanno's stream and I've on here. I wasn't expecting that. But you can obviously catch me on DJ and Care on YouTube. Just hit 1K. Not sure when the next stream is. I've been doing a few sped up versions of songs as well, so go check that out. You can also find me personally on Instagram, ollie.sinclair556. My old accounts have got hacked. That's my main one now. You can click the link in the bio as well for other socials and obviously DM me. Aaron Ramsey on fan page 1 on Instagram as well. And finally, you can find me on TikTok. I've done a few TikToks recently. Ollie is Epic 556 there. But yeah, big up Arrest for having me on. Obviously, Coach's Corner be on there as well. I obviously do my own channel, Digital Caro. I get Manny on there as always. Manny making channel. Obviously, big up Hanif as well. Big up Del Boy Gunner. I know Manny, became famous from that. Tony Claude Cunner. and obviously other channels big up. I also wanted to pick up Eagle Eye TV. I watch him a lot, and I've joined his stream before. Munsey Talks doesn't get a shout out because he's an idiot. And that's pretty much it. Arsenal fan, you can catch me tomorrow. You can catch me watch along with Ores, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of Arsenal fans, including. Come on, Elliot. Come on back on the streams. You know, stop going to uni. You know,
Stop going to uni.
Stop talking to all these girls. You know, join the streams. Stop DJing at festivals. Come join the.
Yeah.
Big up, Ollie, man. Big up.
Yeah, it's internet enough, but yeah.
Oh man, that guy. Oris, where did
Yes.
you find him? Where did he go college with you?
No. He goes. He doesn't even live in London. He lives outside of London. So yeah.
He lives all the way in Somerset at a place called Bermude-on-Sea, I think. It's
Does
not
he?
too far from. It's not too far from the likes of Bristol and Bridgewater. So if he wants to go to London, he actually takes a bus from where he goes to Bridgewater, and then from Bridgewater he makes a trip to London. So yes, obviously typical Southern boy. I was born on the southeast coast, but I lived in Kent most of my childhood, so I'm southeasterner, not too far from London. That's why when I speak, it sounds a bit like a Londoner, but a little bit more polished. Yeah. And cheers, thank you. By the way, I'm interested to know about why you named your channel. I mean, it might not be your channel per se, but here your RJH Radio Sangam. I see that Indian root over there, and I want to know what is the reasoning behind calling it Radio Sangam.
Oh, I used to be part of a radio. Well, I've not changed my email address. I used to do a bit of community radio for Radio Sangam in Huddersfield. And we set that the email was set up for that, but then I left it earlier on this year because I just didn't like what they would. I just didn't like what the radio station represented, and I just felt that they weren't supporting the RJ. So I was just like, you know what, I need a change, and I just kind of took a big break from like doing loads of football content, but now I'm more or less back. I'm going to start editing a lot, and then we'll see. Then we'll see. I just go and jump on everybody else's streams, really.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That's wonderful. So, so now you're just doing your own thing. That's good. That's good. That's good.
I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm gonna try and educate people. And I was on a Chelsea stream watching the Chelsea game, and a lot of Chelsea fans were not happy with certain things, and I couldn't believe it after we played good football and created chances, scored goals. It is what it is. Everyone sees the game differently, I guess.
Yeah, Hashim says
so you live in Huddersfield. Have you seen the Terriers play? I mean, would you consider them to be your local team, or what's the story?
Obviously, because I'm from Huddersfield, I want Huddersfield to do really well, and we'll be lucky if we survive this year in the Championship. But big game tomorrow, got to be Hull. I only live like a mile away from the stadium, so.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, listen, I'll always support my local team, but obviously me being a football referee, I watch a lot of semi-pro football. I watch a lot of football because I'm in football. But yeah, I guess now because of the age I am, I'll probably watch a lot of football, but a variety of football because I just want to watch entertainment. I just want to be entertained by what I'm watching, and I'm not entertained by watching Championship ball. I don't think it's entertaining. I think they need to change. I think honestly they need to change Championship football. They really do. They need to make it more technical, because have you guys considered have you thought about what Nottingham Forest did this season? They had to replace like basically the whole team. That is because technically the players are not there. So what that tells me is, and people say to me, Championship's a great league. It is a great league, but it's not a technical league. You need to make the players better. You need to make the players technically a lot better, so then you don't have to keep changing these teams when they come up to the Premier League. So I think the Championship is more athletic more than anything else. I don't think there's that many good footballers in it, even though a lot of them are paid very well. I just don't think the league is that good, in my opinion. I look at leagues across Europe, and I think the Portuguese league is better than it. and so on. So it's one of them. Like, I watch a lot of football, and I watch football across Europe. So if someone's playing a good game, I'll watch it. Me, I don't care. I was at Man City on Wednesday night, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. The atmosphere was absolutely horrific. Man City were winning 4-0. You'd think they'd be partying and bouncing. FC Copenhagen were making the most noise, and I just said I'm not coming back to Man City again because it's just boring. Absolutely, I was bored. I was watching Erling Haaland. I was happy with what I saw on the pitch, but the atmosphere between the fans, there was no chanting, no nothing, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. I've seen more atmosphere at semi-pro games. So yeah, it was a bit disappointing at Man City the other night. It was like nearly a full house, and it was disappointing to say the least. But Erling Haaland is the real deal. I've seen him up close and personal, and yeah, I think everybody's seen what he can do, and you should be worried because this guy's a monster. He's an absolute beast of a player, and he's going to get 40 to 50 goals this season quite easily. He got one today, I think. So yeah, it's one of them. But
I get what you're saying about Manchester City. I mean, obviously, with the way things are over there, the atmosphere is rather plastic in a way. It just goes to show that even though you can buy success by getting the best players, it will never truly compare to actually the joy of simply playing for the fans. It's now you're playing because you need to win things, and of course, the latest billionaire-backed team, Newcastle, will probably discover that yes, they've had their debts paid for, and yes, there may be some good football, but in the long run, will the fans really be happy with everything, especially if the billionaire owners don't really have much of an idea about the history of the club? And that is, I mean, don't get me wrong.
I think Newcastle is different. I think Newcastle is different, Manny, because they've got a massive fan base. It's bigger than Man City's. They've got history behind them as well. And it's two different clubs. I think if you give Newcastle United a 75,000 stadium, I think they'd fill it, especially with Premier League games. And there's a lot of excitement that's already going to build. You're going to get a lot of Newcastle fans back that probably haven't been there for a long time because of Mike Ashley. But you know what? Newcastle is going to be a tough ground to go to because I think they won 5-1 today, if I'm not mistaken. And
they did.
I think a lot of teams, when we go back up to Newcastle, all the top teams are going to be worried, because they come in the next 5 years. They come in, they're going to be. I think in the next 5 years they're challenging for top 4. So I think ultimately, watch this space because Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, one of them's going to have to take a bit of an L and accept Europa League or Europa League Conference, or maybe no Europe. Because Newcastle are here to stay now, or it might even be Spurs if they don't sort themselves out. Someone's gonna have to take an L. I think West Ham might, and it might even be West Ham because they seem to be that team that are knocking on the Europa League / Champions League door. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see because I think it's all up there now. Newcastle could finish top 4 this season if they can keep the consistency going. So it's.
You are jumping the gun. I'm sorry to say that because here's the thing. When they played Fulham last week, I think it was last week. I think it's fair to say that the way Fulham were able to start this season and also organize themselves well to become a more than decent team, I actually had them winning, and I think the sending off of Nathaniel Chalobah really put them on the back foot, and Newcastle were able to capitalize. And of course, prior to these two games, mind you, they couldn't even buy a win. They were draw specialists, as you know. So they still have a lot of intrinsic issues. And a lot of people have said that, unless they're able to really, really improve their roster, they may not really make much of a headway somewhere. Like in the midfield, for example, they had Sean Longstaff playing. His brother Matthew is on loan at some lower league team. And Longstaff... maybe Longstaff has sort of improved, but are people like him and maybe Joe Willock, are they the type of people who can perhaps take Newcastle forward?
Yeah, but Manny, you forgot to mention someone though, haven't you? One of the best. He's probably regarded as one of the best midfielders. Well, a top midfielder. He's a top midfielder outside the top 6. There's one guy you're missing.
And who would that be, my friend?
That's Bruno Ramirez.
Oh, you had to mention his name.
That guy's a top player. He's a top player. and a lot of people are gonna be, if Man United, Chelsea want a midfielder, this guy's the one. This guy's a top midfielder, and
Mm.
they've got Isaac Almiron's playing out of his skin this season, and um, who've they got as keeper? I can't remember who they got as keeper.
Nick Pope.
Nick Pope.
Oh, they got
It
Nick.
was Martin.
Okay.
It was Martin Dubravka last season, but Pope came in, became first choice keeper. Dubravka went to Manchester United. Now he can't get a game. So
You have to. All I'm saying is this: I don't think they'll hit top four, but I think they might challenge top four for a short while, and I think and I think next season is when Eddie Howe will be put to the test, and they'll say to him, "Listen, we want you to try and break into that top seven, break into that. We want Europe. We want some kind of European football. Unless he can win a trophy." Now, this is the thing. When Man City were coming, Newcastle United are coming. Look how nobody's talked about their business. They got the Isaac for like 60 million or something. No one spoke about it because it's little Newcastle. Oh, it's only Newcastle. Nothing's gonna happen. Give it a couple more years. Let them get a few more quality players, and people are gonna be like, "Whoa, what's going on there?" They've still got Callum Wilson, who's getting them goals, and I'm telling you, it's worrying. A lot of people are looking down on Newcastle United. I'm telling you, it's a decent team,
ah,
especially at St James's Park. Not away from home, but at St James's Park, it's going to be tough to get something there because at home these guys are very strong.
yeah, I get that. I mean, certainly at home they do look good. There's no denying that. Give me a minute. I'll be back.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Let me just go through the comments. Hashim says Chelsea Flash Wolves, big up. Commentators, well, it is a big jump from the Prem. There is plenty of talent in the league. That's one example. Is Ismail Assar from Watford. He's still playing the Championship, and I don't even understand why he's still playing it because
Yeah,
I think Ismail Assar is a Premier League quality. In my opinion. I think
yeah.
no,
Yeah, but nobody's willing to pay the money in it. We have to remember this. Listen, if you want a player of that quality, people always say it's going to cost 30, 40 million. It's not going to cost 30, 40 million. It's going to cost you 50 million plus. Because when a Premier League club comes calling, you think Watford have to sell. That's the thing. People always say that he'll come for cheap, right? Why hasn't no one got him? Because Watford are not going to sell for cheap.
Anyway, let's talk about this game. I mean, so far, it's fair to say that Tottenham have been good value for their half-time lead, but Brighton do look dangerous, so Tottenham can't afford to rest.
Yeah, listen, Welbeck looks really good. To be fair, I don't know what's happened to Weller, but you know what? I give him props this season. He's looking really good, and for a team that's lost like two of its best players to come out, the game is still up in the air. I think it's only 1-0 so far. You know what? If it wasn't for that little bit of quality, there's not much. There's not much in it. The Tottenham team. Yeah, the midfield, they just don't have enough quality in that team across the 11. They've got like three or four, that's it. And they're always relying on Harry Kane and Son. If they don't do anything, there's not much that the Spurs team can offer. But listen, at the end of the day, as long as they get the win, I don't think Spurs care because they need to win something for their history. They've not won anything, whether that's a FA Cup or a Carabao Cup. Even though Deji will this is where me and Deji disagree. He disregards the other cups, whereas I see them as being important trophies. So look, Spurs need a win, but ultimately, I think Brighton could still get something out of this game.
Brighton could. And you speak of the cups. I mean, maybe that could very well be Newcastle's vehicle to try to challenge for something this season. Maybe have a cup run, see how well they do, and then next season the cups might be their thing. But just goes to show that sometimes when it comes to making player investments, you've also got to make sure that you have some steel inside you. And many a time, honey, if we've seen the case that teams will make these big investments only to end up not quite making it because at their heart they still have a bit of a soft center, if you will. So Newcastle, how they progress from here on in, it will certainly be up to them in many ways. And I just hope that they will be able to make something of themselves and try and consolidate. Obviously, with the millions in there, kitty, it'll help. And of course, Bournemouth have also come under American ownership, and I think their owner's got some big plans. It certainly helps that they've recovered well. And yeah, it'll remain to be seen how these clubs will do, because it just goes to show you that money doesn't buy you success all the time, you see.
Yeah, 100%.
No, no, it's true. The only thing I'm worried about is when I start seeing merchandise like football shirts going at £100 a shirt and stuff like that. I'm just like, this is getting ridiculous. I think I don't think I think there's no value for money now for spectators and fans, and because I'm ending up buying shirts at the end of the season. I'm just like, why do I have to spend £60 on a shirt? I'll just wait till the end of the season and I'll get it for like half price. That's what it annoys me, that no one cares enough for the fans, because there's so much revenue coming in via TV money, and but the salary that I've always said, football not having a salary cap is absolutely dangerous, and it's been proven. Look at all these clubs; they're all in debt. Even Man United, the biggest club in England, it's just in debt, and I'm really worried about English football. I'm really am. The future's not great.
That's what happens
I'm
when we've got incompetent owners. We don't even have a proper structure, so that's what happens.
Yes. So I'm glad you mentioned the salary cap. I'd like to think that, if we had a salary cap, we wouldn't have seen these insane salaries being paid to people like Ozil and Aubameyang, and it just goes to show that the more money you pay certain players, the less they perform. It's a bit like, you invest so much money, and sadly the returns end up diminishing. Ozil, I wanted that idiot gone, because he proved that he was becoming a bit of a miscreant and a pot stirrer. I didn't want him, but Aubameyang was just tragic. I'm glad that he's recovered at Chelsea. As for Ozil, well, it's gone from bad to worse for him. I don't know if he will continue to play football for much longer, but Aubameyang clearly has a few years ahead of him, so it's looking good. But the salary cap, as you said, Hanif, that cannot come soon enough, and I only hope that um, the Premier League sees some good sense and decides, you know what, we can't keep spending this much money on players. Yes, they're sportsmen and entertainers, but how much are they really worth? Do they really justify being paid that much money?
Mm. Um, salary cap. Obviously, that's Man United involved because we pay players huge amount of that. If you think about Rashford's over 200 grand a week, Maguire's over 200 grand a week, Luke Shaw's 200 grand a week. So we have to think about how much
I
of
think
these.
it should be performance based. Like have a basic salary of like 50, 60K, and just say like, look, like we will. There has to be some kind of performance like based mechanism where if you play really, really well, I don't know how you would do it. Right, we'll give you that. We'll give you a salary up to 200K. Does that, if that makes sense for the week and stuff like that? It's I just think you can't do it on the current basis, because when you look at the salaries for some of these players, it's disgusting, man. It really is, and I just don't know what to say sometimes. I really don't, because when you look at football at the grassroots, and you don't even have proper football pitches, nice football pitches, you just think it's all wrong. It's the money's at the wrong end, but that's just the way things are, to be fair.
Yeah, 100%. But someone says here salary caps have to be introduced, but I think it's too late now. Marnie, do you agree? Do you think it's too late, or do you still think?
Too late for what? The salary cap?
Yeah.
I don't think it's too late. I mean, obviously, if salary caps are introduced, that means that a few players will see their wages getting cut in real time. And especially, of course, with you might have a point in some ways, Ryan, about how inflation may be a factor in determining that salary caps would probably be bad, because it would mean that certain players would now find it even more difficult. I mean, we can certainly speculate and say that some of the richest players wouldn't really have much of a change, but then we can never really tell. I don't think it's too late at all. I think hopefully once this whole inflation thing cools down, and the economy gets back on track, we will see that happening. But of course, with the pound having nosedived in value, it's now barely over the US dollar. It's going to be difficult. Inflation is also rampant in the UK, and a lot of people are feeling the pinch. And of course, we all know, I mean, many of us know, including you, I'm sure, about the troubles at Arsenal when about 50 odd staff members got furloughed. And we also had this issue about how our players had to take a pay cut in real terms in order to help some people just get by. Ozil was one of those people who was not willing to do that. Apparently, that idiot said that he wanted to check the finances, check the numbers, see where everything would add up, and then if he was satisfied, he'd contribute even more. I
Yeah,
mean,
but money.
seriously,
But the thing is this: like with Ozil, what you're not saying is that remember you know when Arsenal were going to let go of this what do you call them, the ones with the suits on, when they were going to let go of their you know the those characters that they have a suit on
Brontosaurus. Brontosaurus.
yeah, so Gunnosaurus. Arsenal were going to let
mascots.
Gunnosaurus go, but Ozil
Mascot.
came up and said he'd pay his salary. I
Yeah,
think if you've got a contract with a team, I think ultimately it's up to him, because Arsenal, right, when they offered him that contract, they didn't have to pay him 350. They could have let him go. Now, I understand when a player gets offered stupid money and he demands a certain salary, then you basically have to lie in your own bed, because that's what you served. And the same thing with Oba. But the thing is this: if you it depends how high your salary needs to go. Because if you'd have offered him 200 or 250, it's better than 350. But these clubs, they don't think like, look at Chelsea, look at United. Freaking, we're the stupidest clubs. Freaking Lukaku's on 250. Now freaking Inter did a proper job on us. They took money, then they took the guy back on loan. I'm like, these guys have done proper job on us. Freaking, we paid him 100, and then now they're paying us 10 to fucking borrow him for the year. So ultimately, it's I blame the ownership and stuff like that. With Arsenal, Arsenal Football Club should be absolutely you know, upset with the way they're running their finances, because why are you looking at the people that are not earning that much compared to the footballers, and just say, listen, just take a 10% cut? I would understand that, but and that's where I agreed with it. But I look at United didn't have to take a cut. Arsenal, I don't think needed a cut. They were just looking to save some money somewhere. But I just think when you look at it, if any of these big clubs suffer and they go down, if they become mid-table, it's all going to come down to these salary prices. Right, gents, I've got to go. Oris, big up to you.
Big up. Yeah, big up
And
yourself.
I
Thanks for
will.
coming on.
No worries. Anytime, boys. Look after yourselves. I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow. If not, Oris, if you got a show next week, let me know. I'll try and jump on.
I'll let you know. Yeah, that's fine. Big up yourself. Big up.
No worries. Look
All right,
after
cheers,
yourselves,
fella.
boys. Have a good one.
Yeah, big
Cheers,
up.
fella. Thanks for coming along. Yeah. Cheers. Yeah, so I mean, I do get what Hanif is saying there, and look, nobody, I don't think many people will hate the ownership of Arsenal more than fans like myself and a few others, because you know the way they've run things is quite horrible. But it's very easy again for a person like Ozil to be willing to say, yeah, he'd pay Gunnosaurus a salary, and of course he has some other charities, but sometimes again sometimes players do have to show a little bit of altruism and compassion and realize that it's something for the greater good. I mean, why would he volunteer to pay Gunnosaurus' salary unless it was, for the publicity? And of course, maybe if the team had encouraged some sort of a GoFundMe among themselves to try to chip in a bit, that would be good. Here's a question, Manny. How did the wages structure differ in other countries? I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Ryan. I'm not too sure how other countries would, have the finances. I'll have to look that up and tell you. I don't want to, speculate and BS you, if you know what I mean. I'll look that up and tell you soon. So yeah, with Ozil as well, even with his charities for which he wanted to make sure that he was continuing to pay, they're really all tax write-offs at the end of the day. If you donate a certain percentage of your money to charity, that gets written off against your taxes, and you don't need to consider that a taxable, expense, if you know what I mean. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it is what it is. So, hopefully, hopefully, salary caps will come back, and I think, Ryan, it will never be too late, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. It will be interesting to see what happens. and with these salary caps, they will go a long way, in my opinion, to seeing everything right. Now, I'm really sorry, but we of course we're back at the game right now. In fact, the game actually kicked off about 10 minutes ago, the second half. So it's still Tottenham 1, Brighton 0, and Brighton are now attacking down the right. Oris, are you watching? Where are you right now?
Yes, I am on 49-10. I mean, not 49, sorry, 54-10.
I'm on 54-49, so about 30 seconds ahead of you.
No, that's
So
fine.
yeah, so like there's still some relentless attacking, and obviously Brighton are doing everything they can to try to get a goal back, and Tottenham are defending rather, heroically, if not desperately.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm just gonna send you the link, mate. Check your
Mr. Mathers coming along. Good
Yeah,
to
hang
have
on.
you in the building. I cannot wait to talk a little bit more with you.
Yeah, let me just send the link. Give me a
Yeah.
sec.
No, because I also want to big him up, because it's amazing to have someone like him coming on these streams, and we need to make sure that we show him a lot more support, because in this obviously the Premier League is a lot more of the in league, the hot league right now. Many of us fans support a Premier League team. You don't get very many Championship supporters, and I know Huddersfield were in the Premiership for 2 seasons, and they really did. They punched above their weight under David Wagner, who sadly left not too long afterwards. But now it's a bit of a struggle for them. But I think this is okay. So he's coming on the stream. I'll big up his channel, Huddersfield Town Fan TV. Do check out some of his videos. It's an interesting perspective on the club, which is, trying its best to get back in, and also is historically one of the oldest and most successful clubs. In fact, I believe they were the first ever club to win the then First Division 3 times in succession. So they do have a strong history and a strong, you know, I wouldn't. I don't know if you could necessarily say a legacy of sorts. Maybe you can. Maybe we should. But they've certainly, left an imprint on English football, as it were, and they hopefully should be able to do enough to try to get back into the top division and hopefully play a little bit well. And I think their fans do deserve that. And of course, big up as well to Hanif, who was also a Huddersfield boy and who was here earlier.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's always great to have, obviously, people from the Championship clubs joining in the Premier League streams. That's great to see. So I've never seen anything like that. But obviously, if you're a massive fan of the Premier League, then it just shows you that you're into football that much. So big up to Ryan for that, because obviously Huddersfield, this team, I don't think they're doing that well this season. So, and he still wants to join the stream. So that it just shows you how much football, how much he likes football. So yeah.
I mean, there are a few channels which were mentioned, which mentioned that they would be streaming the EFL Cup and the EFL Championship over here where I am. But for some reason, I've been trying to check the TV guide over here. I couldn't find any mention of these program listings. So, I mean, it's complicated. All I can do is do what I can by, from watching the highlights on YouTube and, obviously BBC Sport Online for results and stories and so forth. And so
Manny, look who's here.
Yeah. I know.
Good evening, all. Hope you're well. Nice to be
Evening,
here.
mate. Evening. So, I'll just click the link to your preview video, and I will watch that when I get some time.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
You're welcome. And you're wearing the same shirt. You just finished that and you uploaded. Very nice.
Yes, well, I've kept this on. Yes, I do like it. It's very nice. It's actually a new one, actually. So yeah, I didn't upload. I only upload. I was quite late with this one. I was going to upload yesterday, but I just didn't have the time. I didn't have time, so I thought, well, I'll do it today. And then obviously I've been out today as well, so I've only just recorded it. Literally, when was it now? It was about 5 o'clock. So yeah, not long ago.
Right. So so we were talking about quite a few things, and obviously you've given your views on the salary cap. And obviously, I think maybe you can agree, Ryan, that the fact that we don't have a salary cap has been the cause of a lot of problems. You will have heard about, we were mentioning, more billionaires who invest significantly into clubs could not be a tough prospect for us in the future. With these institutions being promoted, they have a model and identity. Hmm, interesting to see. I'm not too sure what you're getting at there, Hardeep, but we were also talking about how money doesn't always buy you success, and it will be a tough ask for Newcastle to try and even start challenging. And Hanif obviously believes that within 2 or 3 years they could start challenging. I'm not too sure. I think they really might need to sort of change their identity and really, maybe not so much their, like, obviously Newcastle have a certain way of playing and a certain appeal to the fans. Maybe that would have to change. And Hanif was mentioning how the atmosphere at the Etihad Stadium can be a bit dead at times. I wonder if that would necessarily be what Newcastle have to do. Maybe you can give me your perspective on that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, to be honest with you, like, it isn't all about money, like I say, and Newcastle fans maybe are getting too carried away because I know they've got really rich owners, but um, I don't really see them challenging in the next few years for top four personally because you still got, you can buy any player you want for me, but they've still got to gel with the other players as well. So, which you probably say about any team really that bring in, players of that magnitude maybe. But yeah, I don't think it's as easy as saying that they'll be able to challenge just because they've got the financial backing, in a couple of years. I just don't see it.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, the salary cap issue about Arsenal having about 50 odd of their odd staff furloughed, and certain players like Ozil at the time not being willing to take a pay cut. You just wonder if you're just feeding that monster you've created by paying players these obscene wages and not being willing to cap that, and seeing how those people below in that structure are being affected adversely.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the problem is when you're paying players that amount of money, I go back to it. They think they have that. Well, they probably do have the power, but they have power over a football. Yeah, ultimately that shouldn't be the case. But because the wages have got so ridiculous, that creates that selfish attitude that players really perceive you within, and that's a pure example with Ozil. Ozil, very poor really, but that's the way football's gone. And like I say, once they get these big wages, they think they own the place. And yeah, I just hate the way football has gone. I really do.
Yeah.
But yeah, Money Hardy said this point. I was alluding to the philosophy and infrastructure of clubs. Money could be a positive factor, yes, but ideally it's what the manager desires with the profiles needed in the system. Backing is vital.
Yeah. So thanks for explaining that. And I think I was talking about, you talk about the philosophy. Obviously, the likes of Newcastle might need to sort of change their own philosophy in a way, because now it's a different ownership, maybe a different, ideology. Maybe the owners will expect success. That seems to be the way with these Arab/American/foreign billionaires who, most of them don't even really bother to understand um, what the appeal of a club like Newcastle and what it entails. And I wouldn't be. I'm not. You're not really surprised about a club like Chelsea, where you know when they won the league under Mourinho, it was the first time they had won that in 50 odd years. And when they won that league 50 odd years ago, before then, it was a certain Arsenal legend by the name of Ted Drake who guided them to that title as manager. So, obviously, since then they might have won a few cups. I believe they won a European Cup Winners' Cup as well during the and the Super Cup during the 90s, I think. But it was the Premier League success that had eluded them. So, I mean, you can understand they were they wanted success. They wanted to get the manager they needed, and they believed that Mourinho was the one who would take them there. With Newcastle under Eddie Howe, and this is another thing. Like, I just don't want to see pressure being put unduly on Eddie Howe, because he's managed Bournemouth for 3 years, yeah? And obviously he was famous for getting that team to be able to punch above their weight and stay in and be able to, and do well for themselves. And now he's come over to Newcastle, where they don't necessarily have the quality of squad that, say, a Chelsea does, which makes it easier for Graham Potter. But now Ed Howe's being expected to try to turn the team around. They have had two big wins these last 2 weeks, but before that, they couldn't buy a win with the money they had. So
Yeah.
I just hope that Eddie Howe won't be put under any sort of undue pressure. And if results aren't as good as the owners would want, say next season, because I don't think they'll sack him now, having to take the trouble to bring him in. If next season or the season after that, things aren't to their satisfaction, would they ask him to leave and maybe try and get a new manager? Or I don't even know what they plan to do. So it's interesting to see what will happen. As you said, Ryan, maybe the fans are getting carried away.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that Eddie Howe will. The thing is, when you do have the backing, that comes with pressure, and obviously Eddie Howe has to produce ultimately. That's if he's being backed to the extent he is, it has to see results. So I think the pressure side of it, I think it's like with any club, isn't it? If you continue that losing streak or whatever, you start on a losing streak, should I say? Sorry. It can end up only one way, but we'll have to see really.
Right.
Well,
So
obviously-
Brighton are making. Yeah, go ahead, Doris. Sorry about that.
Well, no, I was gonna say obviously Ryan's team play tomorrow, Hull City, so that's a big game.
It is a crucial game, and I mentioned that in my show earlier. It's a game that we have to be focusing on the home games for wins, and we did win our last home game, so hopefully we can follow that up with another win here. Obviously with the form that Hull are showing, obviously I know they won against Wigan in the last game, but they've still lost 5 out of the last 6, so they're not in the best of form, and they have conceded a lot of goals in that period over the last 6 games. So there'll be opportunities for both sides tomorrow. It's just who will take them. And I fancy us to take the chances. We just need to cut out the errors at the back and really solidify that defence like we know we can produce. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And I just hope I'm coming away from the John Smiths tomorrow smiling. We'll have to see.
Hardeep says,
Yeah.
if you look at the championship, the financial impact could be limited amongst the clubs with less great history, and owners' model could consist of many factors. Eddie Howe will be axed in the coming years.
Old prediction there. I mean, you wouldn't want to see that happening. And so Brighton have brought on a player. Let me just take a look and see who's on. It's the hold on a minute, please.
That's fine. Tomorrow there's big games, man. People need. I don't think people realize that there's big games like Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man United. I just heard a stat. Someone told me that Everton are the only team in the Premier League to concede less goals. So that is just wow. I was like, what? So that's gonna be an interesting game. So we'll see.
Yeah.
So they brought on this Japanese guy named what is his name? Kaoru Mitoma. Let me take a look at him right now. He seems to be a Japanese professional footballer who plays for Brighton and Hove Albion, and he made his debut for Japan in 2021. Very impressive record of 5 goals in 9 caps, and so yeah, he was on loan at Union SG
Mitoma.
in
Yeah.
Mitoma. So he was on loan at a club named Union SG. It's Royal Union Saint-Gilloise, and that is a Belgian football club. So he's obviously come back to the Albion team with a few players having gone. I think with Mope having gone, they've had to bring him back, and hopefully he'll have a decent impact. And he's come on for Estupinian, Pervis Estupinian, who went off. And one of the things that you get with me is that you get someone who's very sensitive and has his pulse on different pronunciations, because people struggle to get my surname right. So yeah, and it's here that I want to come over to you, Ryan, because obviously you've got a Japanese guy in your team, and let me just see what his name is. Yeah,
Yuta Nakayama.
Yuta Nakayama, and I think he's also regular international for the Japan team as well, so he will know Mitoma quite well. And I'm pretty certain that Nakayama, like Sorba Thomas, will be playing in the World Cup. Saw Thomas with Wales and Nakayama with Japan. Um, so obviously, you might not have seen Matoma play, but Nakayama, he might have been key for Huddersfield in some cases. I mean, not in some cases. He's been. I mean, this season he's obviously been playing, and he's made about eight appearances. What do you think of him personally? Because I've always been impressed by Japanese players, especially Japanese attackers, and what they lend to the game.
Yeah. I've liked what I've seen so far. To be fair, I think he's a decent player. To be honest with you, still early days, of course, and obviously can't really judge him too much yet. But I do like what I've seen in glimpses. Sometimes he can be a bit shaky, but that's sometimes what happens. But yeah, I've been happy with what I've seen so far, and I think that he can only get better as the season goes on. So yeah, I'm feeling positive with this one, and I do like the look of him.
Yeah, great. So so far he was. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's been any recent squads as of yet. So obviously not. He has. He's a defender, I believe, and
Yeah.
yeah, he wears number 20. He's got 17 caps, and obviously he will certainly play a bit of a role in the defense. Obviously, they've got Nagamoto and Yoshida being their most experienced players, but and Sakai as well, Hiroki Sakai from the Urawa Diamonds. But defensively, they look a little bit inexperienced, so maybe Nakayama will play a role. And as for the other guy, yeah, he's scored 5 in 9, but hasn't really been able to make a few recent squads. Although there's always some hope that he could try and come back and force his way in, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, and Tottenham have made a change. They've brought off the ex-Brighton player Bissouma and brought on Richarlison, and so very nearly a second goal for Tottenham. Orest, if you're behind me, you might be able to see that.
Yeah. Hardly with the stats. Everton have conceded 7 goals, the least in the league, if I'm not mistaken. The key for us would be to isolate the stronger areas. Onana and Tarkowski have proved them. We need to be patient. 100%, man, 100%. But the whole United fan base have to back Eric Ten Hag, and for me, he needs time, man. He honestly needs time because it's a process. He's not going to do a quick fix. It'll be a long fix. So I'm going to be patient, but I'm not sure if the other fans will be patient as well. So we'll see. But yeah. But to be fair, tomorrow Arsenal Liverpool will be the big game, because if Arsenal do win, that's a statement right there, man. Yeah, and you can't lie. If Arsenal was to win, that's a statement from
Oh, I agree. It's a statement. Don't get me
Arsenal to
wrong.
City Reds. Yeah.
And even if if the worst were to happen and they draw or lose, I mean, if they draw, they'll end up being second with City being top. But even if they lose, I mean, again, it will be very early days. I'm definitely not going to be the one who will call for Arteta's head. But because, I mean, we've seen the team play some good football. We've seen the team lose their head against Manchester United. We've seen a few moments of sloppiness that would cost the team in normal circumstances, but now they've been unpunished. So, yeah, listen, they're going on a good run, don't get me wrong. And I actually do think that things are looking good. What angers me, though, is a recent interview that Arteta gave where he spoke about how things were, fractured. And that is one of the things which I don't like. I mean, granted, you may be doing a decent job at the club, and you may possibly have, brought some decent results in, but this is going to be your third full season, and you will have had more. By the end of the season, you will have had twice as long time as Unai Emery to do that. So when you talk about how the atmosphere was fractured when you came in, and portray yourself as some sort of a savior simply because you won the FA Cup and earned some credit by that, I'm sorry, but it's behaviour like that and behaviour in other occasions that sometimes turns me off him. Because look, you were lucky to get that Arsenal job. Let me make it crystal clear. Yeah. And Orest, you'll be watching that. So yeah. So anyway, it's all good. Disallowed for offside, but so this is one of the reasons why I'm not too fond of Arteta. It means you need to be willing to just knuckle down, say the right things. Don't big yourself up too much. and talk about how things were fractured and portray yourself as some great healer or great unifier. Sorry, you are nothing of the sort. Nothing succeeds like success. And if the results aren't good this season, then you don't get any more credit. I'm sorry. I don't know what you would say to that, Orest or Ryan. Maybe either or both of you can chime in with that.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, and I think you've got to have that, kind of focus and drive to get better rather than focusing on kind of the path. But I mean, I've not been convinced of Arteta, admittedly, but he's still getting results at the moment, and certainly tomorrow is a big test again. But I honestly think you'll win tomorrow because Liverpool have been so poor, and I just think at the Emirates you are just too strong for over there. But be interesting to see what happens. But I'm really looking forward to watching and tuning in and seeing what happens. But yeah, Arteta's always been a bit of a, he's been. What is the reception like, Manny, with Arteta fans, Arsenal fans as a whole, in terms of Arteta? Because I think a lot seem unconvinced still, don't they, kind of thing.
Oh, mate, here's the thing. If you take a look on Twitter, you will see the division between fans who absolutely worship the fella and fans like me who, don't really like the way he operates but are willing to give him a chance. And there is still a reason why people say Arteta out, because if you were to look beyond the wins, whatever, and take a look and see how the team have actually played under him, they're not convinced that he in any way has really improved the system too much. And people talk about how things have become really good this season. Need to remember a few things. It's still very early days. Not even 10 games have been played. There's still 75% more of the season left. And so, as we say in England, there's many a slip between the cup and the lip. In addition, a lot of our performances hinge on making sure that we have our first 11 fit and playing, because our bench strength in many areas is absolutely poor in many ways. And in some cases, he doesn't even have the ability to truly stamp a mark in terms of discipline. And the best managers are able to do that. And I'm going to talk right now about an issue which involved Matteo Guendouzi, who is, of course, now playing with Marseille, or Marsenal, as I'd like to joke, because there's a strong ex-Arsenal connection there. I mean, we've got Tavares, and they've got also Alexis Sanchez and maybe one or two other people. So I cheer for Marseille when they're playing Tottenham. Now, the story goes that I mentioned early in the stream that when Arsenal played Brighton at the Amex, Leno had his injury, and apparently Guendouzi also got into a bit of an altercation on the field where he grabbed someone by the neck, I think, and he had to be, ushered away. And then it was then that Arteta took a look at him and said, we can't keep you in the team, son. You're too volatile. You're not really disciplined enough for us. Ironically, later on the next season, Granit Xhaka would be sent off against Burnley for grabbing an opposing player by the throat. And maybe Xhaka decided, Arteta decided, Granit's already been sent off. He's already feeling terrible about it. But there was actually a trip in December that the boys made to Dubai, if I'm not wrong. And they were going to go there to train, I think, and just have a few days of R&R. Obviously, given that Emirates is their sponsor, trips to Dubai are reasonably frequent, par for the course. They may have a training facility over there. The boys stay there in the best of accommodation and travel arrangements and so forth. I believe the story goes that the boys were having a group dinner, and some traditional Arabic music was being played. And Guendouzi, who ironically I think is of Moroccan heritage, I will look that up, he apparently took exception to the music that was being played, and apparently, obnoxiously shouted for the DJ at the time to, or someone else in control at the time, to play some different music. And I think he took off his shirt and was, waving it around. Now, having lived in the Middle East myself, although not in Dubai, I know that although Dubai presents an image of being a very welcoming sort of liberal, welcoming atmosphere, it's still at its heart a more conservative religious society, and you are expected to, substituting for Tottenham right now, I believe Son is coming off. A disappointing day for him. He had a goal disallowed for offside. He's being replaced by Ivan Perisic. So Son's blowing hot and cold there. So yeah, so that's how the story goes. Guendouzi was behaving a little bit badly, and I think he was told that he had to control his attitude in many ways. Um, and then that sort of sort of set it off in a way, because there was no senior figure in the team at the time. That might have been when Aubameyang was captain, but nobody was willing to grab him by the scruff of the neck and say, "Oi, that is not the way you behave. Sit your backside down and just enjoy the music and be respectful." And no one's willing to do that. But Arteta as well was never really willing to make sure he exercise those controls at the beginning, because you would think that there would be a debriefing session prior to their trip when Arteta and those responsible would have told the players how to behave on that trip and what standards were expected for them in terms of behaving over there. And as a manager, that is your responsibility to enforce those standards at the very beginning when a player joins. With a Manchester United connection, that's exactly what Alex Ferguson would do. That's how he was able to get the best out of these so-called mavericks like Eric Cantona, Wayne Rooney, Roy Keane, and so forth. He made it crystal clear at the very beginning that he would have nothing but the greatest respect for their talent and would provide them the best atmosphere to shine and play well, but that they had to follow the ethics and standards of discipline and self-respect and maintaining and upholding the reputation and tradition of the club. And if you fail to do that, you're out. Arteta never did that. Arteta can't do that because he doesn't have the experience or the clout to do that. And so what happened with Guendouzi, and probably what has happened with Aubameyang, another incident over there. I will tell you about that. I think, we're seeing it right now. Sanchez trying to kick it out. Højbjerg putting the defense under pressure, very nearly, robbing the defender and scoring a goal. Yeah, it was an attempted pass which Højbjerg intercepted, which could have gone into the net, but thankfully it didn't. And Pascal Gross is coming off with the former Liverpool midfielder Adam Lallana. So back to what I was saying. You're supposed to enforce those standards at the very beginning when a player joins. Arteta failed to do that. And there was no leadership figure in the team at the time who was also willing to make sure that the manager's word would be maintained. And captains like Brian Robson, Steve Bruce, etc., would enforce Ferguson's, diktat or his agenda and make sure that everyone would fall in line. There isn't that structure there. And that's what happens when you make such an appointment. You don't have a manager who has that clout and that gravitas to be able to enforce those standards. And invariably, you end up, using these band-aid measures by saying, we can't have you at our club anymore. It's stupid. And I believe that Arteta must take some blame for that, because it just goes to show that when he was a player, he was never really any great shakes for us. Yes, he captained us to an FA Cup win. And yes, he won a couple of FA Cups, I would say, and was a decent midfielder, but certainly not spectacular. So what would he know about the true culture of that club? How much did he invest in that club, and was he really the man to take us forward? I just think it was all a question of his appearances. And Ryan, you, with a team like Huddersfield, which certainly has a proud history in itself, and I was mentioning that before you came on, I think it's fair to say that the way that the philosophy of that club, you wouldn't find too many people doing that. And certainly the managers who've come in would be very interested in enforcing standards. And you mentioned in your video about Mark Fotheringham doing that, even if he didn't play for Huddersfield. But Arteta never had a job before joining Arsenal. So I'd like you to tell me what you think of what I've had to say. And I'm sorry for having gone on for too long about it.
Yeah, I mean, from that perspective, you have really hit the nail on the head. I mean, it's a different perspective that maybe I've kind of seen from, obviously, not an Arsenal fan kind of thing. And I kind of understand what you're trying to say here. And I think it's so important and key, isn't it, to set standards and to, and to have some sort of control in that dressing room. And if you can't set that standard and you can't try and even help players to, like Guendouzi, I think maybe the situation with that, it could have been avoided and it could have been, it could have been dealt with a lot better. But like I said, I totally agree with what you're saying, and Arteta has to be responsible for that. So I totally agree with what you're saying, if I'm honest with you. And yeah, so from my understanding, Manny, do you not think that Arteta has authority in that dressing room in terms of, does he not have anything about, do the players, I won't say not respecting, but what do you see the dressing room being like in terms of, does he have the full kind of control of that dressing room? Because I don't think he does now. I don't.
Ryan. If all I can say right now is that if you were to see the All or Nothing documentary, which I derisively call All for Nothing, you will see copious instances of Arteta losing his rag at the end of a bad result or a bad performance. I mean, he will literally scream at players like Nuno Tavares, for instance, "You want to play in the Champions League?" And here, this is another example of his approach to man management, the light bulb thing, and then singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" before playing Liverpool, or having or was it a postman or someone giving a team talk before the North London derby? But then again, as I've said, it's his first managerial job, so of course he doesn't have that clout. And there was also an incident where when we signed Alexander Zinchenko, um, Arteta walked up to him. Zinchenko was wearing that black shirt, and when they met, he literally embraced him tightly and said, "That shirt looks good on you, man," as if they'd been good friends for quite some time. No, listen, you were his assistant coach. You were not his teammate. And even if you were his teammate, a warm handshake and maybe a pat on the shoulder would have been enough, as if to say, "Mate, I'm so grateful to you for coming to our team. We're happy to have you here, but I now am your manager, so I would like you to I'd like to expect you to. I expect you now to hopefully buy into what I'm trying to do, and I hope you will contribute." Now, Zinchenko, of course, being the professional that he is, maybe you wouldn't need to tell him that twice, but still, you've got to maintain that distance between the player and the manager. You would never see Alex Ferguson treating players he's worked with like his mates. And in fact, I don't know if Forrest will know about this. Maybe if he reads the history, he will know. But not long after he joined Manchester United, he brought Jim Leighton and Gordon Strachan with him to Old Trafford, and they, of course, were key players during those successful years at Aberdeen, when he broke the Glasgow dominance of the league and also won a European trophy, beating Real Madrid in the final. But those two players ended up falling out of favor with Strachan. He ended up in some ways demonizing them. And since then, they've never spoken to him in return. But Ferguson would always maintain that distance between the player and the manager. But when you have a manager like Arteta, who on one hand tries to treat players like his friends, as sort of be that type of, "I'm one of the boys, but also the boss," I'm sorry, but that just doesn't work. And you see him join in training sessions where he tries to prove that he still has the ability. I think maybe he's trying to make up for the fact that his career was no great shakes in a way. So there has to be that distance. And Arteta doesn't strike me as the type of person who will be able to, exert that level of authority. And then when things don't work out, it's as if he has to take some drastic measures and justify himself by saying, "At the end of the day, I was the solution to the problem." Go to hell, you waster. So that's what I think.
Yeah.
And it segues back into what you were talking about with Mark Fotheringham joining in. Of course, as a player for Norwich, he was captain, but was stripped of the captaincy in favour of Gary Doherty following an adverse reaction to being substituted, I think. And then, of course, he had a decent playing career and went on to become a manager. Call it a case of poacher becoming a gamekeeper, if you will. And so he has had some experience managing a few clubs, being assistant at a few clubs. So at least he's worked a lot more intensively in a way since retiring as a player. So you could say that he has the ability to, exert some level of control and say, "Look, I've done this job before, and I want to make sure that you boys are on my side, but I am going to help you out, and I will be able to do that." And his track record is, of course, as you've mentioned, helping teams avoid relegation, or even if they do get relegated, they get quickly promoted. So he has that experience and can, stamp his mark. Arteta never really had that authority. And when he won the FA Cup, it was with Unai Emery's team. And if Christian Pulisic hadn't been injured, it would have been a different story. So at least with Fotheringham, you got a guy who has a modicum of authority. With Arteta, I just don't see that. And maybe he's gaining a bit more maybe he feels that if he gets great results, he now is strengthening his hand. But I'll tell you one thing: if they flatter to deceive, then things are going to get very difficult in the long run. And if Granit Xhaka ends up leaving the club, who's going to be his right-hand man on the field? So there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like I say, but Fotheringham is still very much improving, in my opinion. I know he's maybe gone, learnt his trade in Germany a lot of the time, but he still hasn't had a big role like this before. But what he won't do is, I loved his press conference, and I'll only touch on this very quickly. But I did love the fact that you could tell he will have authority in that dressing room. He's not there to make friends. He's there to get results. And I love that kind of quote that he said in his conference when he first got announced. And you can see he's a very determined individual. And we saw it from that game against obviously last week against Reading to Luton on Tuesday. That massive difference is already apparent to me. So he's certainly going to be developing here. And I'm hoping that he can produce some special memories for us going forward. But yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, I get that. And more often than not, Ryan, those managers prove to be they will be fairly strict, but they will also be very fair, very straightforward. Yeah. They're going to give it to you as it is. They're not going to sugarcoat things. They're not going to speak on both sides of their mouth. And that's sort of the way it should be. The likes of Martin O'Neill were very much in that mould. And while we were talking, there was a substitution for Tottenham. Their youngster, Oliver Skipp, has come into the team. He's been brought on the field. Let me see who he has replaced. Well, sadly, the BBC Sport website is being very uncooperative.
Harry Kane.
Oh, yeah, good. And there was a double substitution for Brighton. Tariq Lamptey and Billy Gilmore on for Brighton to try to do something in the 5 minutes of stoppage time that are there. Moises Caicedo and Joel Veltman went off. So basically, Lamptey for Veltman, straight substitution. Caicedo having run himself into the ground. Gilmore coming on maybe to try to provide some fresh impetus. Maybe we'll have to see. And so as I said, Fotheringham might probably end up being the type of hard and fair manager. He's also worked in Germany with a certain Felix Magath, who was a tough international for Germany and also made his name as a manager of clubs like Bayern Munich and, of course, Schalke. There was some talk about his training sessions being very brutal, though. So it'll remain to be seen. I don't think Fotheringham will be that harsh, but obviously he will want to be, straight, down to earth, old school. Say what I like what I say, and I think without being stereotypical, that's the way things are up in Yorkshire. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You got it spot on there. I mean, obviously Danny Schofield obviously started the season. He was a guy that I felt like didn't have authority in that dressing room, didn't have full control, and that was the problem really. And as much as he tried his best, and I love Danny Schofield because, like I say, he was a great player for us, and I wish it would have worked out for him, but he just wasn't ready for this job, unfortunately, and it was thrust upon him. And I don't really envy the club for putting him in that position in the first place, because I don't think he was ready, and the club should have known better. But it is what it is, unfortunately, I'm just looking forward to seeing what we can do with Mark, and like I say, it is his first home game in charge tomorrow, of course, so I'm sure he'll get a good reception.
That's great. So obviously, there's not too much to say about the Huddersfield team. I will be looking forward to them. You know the players better than I do, and obviously you'll be previewing a few. You'll be providing us information of a few Hull players in your preview. I will check that out. Just quickly though, are there any players in that Hull City team who you think should be taken seriously? Could they cause a scare or two?
Well, I did mention in my preview, like I say, there is the forward for Hull at the moment, and I'll just get his name up. But he's scored. I think I saw that he was the top scorer in the Championship so far this season. I think he's got 9 goals. I think he's called Espinan, and he's someone that we need to be looking out for here, because if he gets a chance, or if we gift him a chance, he will take it. So we have to be careful.
Oscar Espinan, yeah.
Yeah, so he's a very good player, and we do have to be wary of him. But I think if we stop the supply into it, then you definitely be able to keep him quiet. But I'd hope to see us have more of the ball and him not getting much of a look in, because I hope to see us on the front foot for most of the game. But it doesn't always work out like that, of course. But yeah, that is one name that I think we need to be wary of.
Yeah.
He's played 12 games. Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying, Orest?
He's played 12 games, 8 goals, 1 assist. So he's been good, man. But yeah, money, Karen.
Yeah, so that name Estupinian sounds familiar. There's another guy, of course, who was playing today, who was taken off. Same surname but different nationality, so they're not related by any means. So
Yeah.
that's that's out of the question. And of course, other names which come to me include Cyrus Christie, former / maybe current Irish international. Not played for the Republic of Ireland for quite some time, but still very much a part of it. You've also got an Arsenal loanee, Saladin Oulad Mand, young Dutchman. And I think it's full time right now at the Amex Stadium.
Yeah, full time for me. Yeah.
Yeah, full time. So definitely you've got that Arsenal loanee, Mand. He could be, and of course Baxter on loan from Chelsea, and Adama Traore. That's a name which I know fairly well. He's played for. Yeah, obviously he's an international for Mali, but he's played for Monaco among a few other teams. So yeah, I think I confused Adama with the other one who plays for Wolves, I think. So yeah, it should be interesting. I think hopefully, hopefully the spirit that you've shown in your last 2 games will carry you through. But as you've said, they've got a striker on red hot form, so you'll have your work cut out against him. And as for this game today, it was a workmanlike performance, if you will, and they've earned their win and a decent enough recovery from the North London derby loss. So Tottenham are now still in third and still very much up there, but you get the feeling that unless they can really turn on the style against some of the bigger teams, they might not be there for too long. But at least for now, Conte can celebrate. Good tribute to their departed fitness coach.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to get you guys' thoughts on the game. So, Marnie, obviously with Brighton, they drew 3-3 with Liverpool. They've lost today. Do you think they can start winning games from next week now, or what do you think?
It will remain to be seen. I mean, from what I see, from what I'm seeing, De Zerbi seems to be willing to apply the system, and now we see a tribute being made to Jan Perro, Hugo Lloris, holding up his shirt to the fans, to the camera, and making sure that he will never be forgotten. So yeah. So back to your question, I think De Zerbi might seem to be willing to stick with the system that Potter left that has brought them some success. But again, if some players are brought in January, then maybe it could change. I think if De Zerbi is given the confidence to stay at Liverpool, stay at Brighton, the next season he might want to perhaps, impose his own ideas while possibly, blending in, phasing in a few of his ideas right now and seeing if there could be that blend. But yeah, Brighton still look to be a team who can provide good value, and it'll remain to be seen how they perform up to January and what happens to them from here on in. I mean, after then.
Yeah, Ryan. Do you think Brighton? Same thing basically. Do you think Brighton could start winning games now from next week?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why not, because like I say, whenever I've seen Brighton this season, I think they've been a joy to watch. Really, I do like the way they play. And obviously this new guy that's come in, he looks very promising. You've got to give him time. He's not going to hit the ground running straight away, but I'm sure that he's keen to keep progressing and getting his ideas across and working with these players, because there is a lot of talent in this Brighton side. And like I said, I do like watching them. And he has got the foundations there to work with. I do think he's a very good appointment. I think he will come good eventually. But you just got to be patient with these things. So yeah, I think that Brighton will have a really strong season again. And yeah, we'll just have to see. But Tottenham today, the most thing surprising for me today is that maybe Brighton could have maybe done a bit more in that second half to try and get back into it. But Tottenham still did well to see out the game. So yeah, but looking good for Brighton for sure, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. This is a good move for Tottenham. coming back from that defeat in the Northampton. So good result for Tottenham. Brighton, I wouldn't be too concerned if I was Brighton fan. I wouldn't be too concerned about this result. They've still got a lot of games this month anyway, so I wouldn't be concerned. Obviously, the new manager coming in, I think he's decent, man. I think it's decent to get a 3-3 draw at Liverpool and in your first match. It's a good result, so I wouldn't be too concerned. So yeah, that's it from me. But yeah, we're gonna wrap up, guys. We're gonna get people to shout out the socials and all stuff. So Marnie, where can people find you?
Yeah, first of all, thanks a lot for welcoming me back in, and it's always it's good fun being on these watch-alongs. I'm only sorry that we weren't able to speak too much about the game, but we provided you some decent moments, I think. And yeah, so you can catch me, of course, on Twitter at Thungatheray1981. You can catch me on Instagram at MannyThungatheray1981. Basically, my name and my year of birth are key here. And I don't have a channel of my own, but you will catch me on a few channels on YouTube, like Del Boy Gunner TV, S. Featley TV, Coach's Corner with Hanno Trollope, King's Football Show with King Sate, the Football for Thought podcast with NS Sports TV. Also, I will be making a few more appearances on other channels like Tony Claude Gunner TV, the True Red Devils podcast with, the Manchester United fan, David, and... also, Danny AFC TV, you can find me, shooting the breeze with him on Thursday nights. That's a thing which we've started. We'll be covering Arsenal's Europa League campaign and maybe some other games in between. And also, big up, of course, to Orest from Orest Talks Football. Always enjoy coming on his streams, even if sometimes they can get a little bit wild at times. It's still decent fun. We all calm down eventually and have a good time. And yeah, I'm just happy to go where I feel welcomed and say what I want to say, and just happy to continue being involved and doing a little bit more. So once again, thoughts and prayers are with the victims of the Indonesian riots. Nobody should have to go to a football game hoping to have a good time, only to go home in the body bag. So prayers for the victims. I hope they'll be at peace with the Almighty. And to the families of the victims, may you all find the peace and the strength to move on and live your lives in the memory of your loved ones. So with that, peace to all a good night, and I am out.
Big up Marnie for joining. And Ryan, where can people find you?
Yeah, I have got my own YouTube channel, of course, so I am, if you search Huddersfield Town Fan TV, you can find me on there. I have just recently done the preview, so if you are kind enough to go and check that out, I really would appreciate that. You also subscribe to my channel as well. Like I said, I'm on the road to 200 subscribers, so we're progressing quite nicely with that. So yeah, please, if you are new, please hit that subscription button too. You can also follow me on my socials, Twitter and Instagram, HTFTV8 as well, so you will never miss anything that I upload either. So yeah. Thank you for having me on for this short, brief time, and it's always a joy to come on and be in the chat as well, of course, because I always love coming onto your streams. But yeah, big up and thank you.
No worries, man. Big up both of you for joining today, and big up the others that joined as well, Ollie, and Ethan, etc. So big up everyone that's joined. Next stream it will be tomorrow, the Arsenal Liverpool Watchalong, the big one. Marnie's Mikel Arteta's tricky Reds will be facing Jurgen Klopp's side, so we'll see what the outcome will be. That more so after that, probably do another stream on Monday, game week 10 review. So yeah, make sure you guys do smash the likes, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next time.